Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Hot Wheels Volkswagen Beetle. It's a Larry Wood design, based on a 1953 to 1957 VW Bug, and it's one of the longest running productions they have, from 1989 to the present. Mine's a 2021 model from the Holiday Racers series in a groovy Valentine's print. And it's my entry to the Four Horsemen May build-off. The Four Horsemen are Paul from Diecast Graveyard, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs, myself, and this month's Guest Horseman, Geauxbear's Diecast Workshop. Make sure you've got yourself an 06 GTO for next month on the theme of an Australian or New Zealand influence. Have fun with that and join in with us, and get your name and your work out there in front of a bunch of new viewers. Send your glamour pics to fourhorsemendiecast@gmail.com, and we'll put you in a recap video with all the other builds from this month. You can see that I've disassembled the Beetle. Now I'm just removing the brown wheels. I'm actually going to reuse those, but they're coming off for a little bit of refurbishing. And I got a spare, just in case. Meep meep. The Beetle is no stranger to the beach. Take special note of a couple of upcoming videos on my channel, including the Dibs 4x4 Invitational, and Paco's Diecast Garage is the first of several buddy builds I've got lined up for the summer, and the annual Canada Day Invitational is open to absolutely everybody this year. I hope you'll decide to join us and take part. Details are in a couple of promo videos elsewhere on my channel. Check it out. As the old paint and tampos melt away, I want to invite you to check out a channel that might be new for you, CoolCat Custom Diecast. CoolCat gets involved in lots of the Four Horsemen builds and does some spectacular work. I don't want you to miss out, so follow the link that I put in the description. Swing on by for a visit, leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share the Diecast love, won't you? Thanks for doing that, I sure appreciate it. My little Beetle is getting some diecast love of its own, in the form of a wire wheel attachment, a couple of different types, taking out any corrosion or flashing, but it's not that bad as it's a fairly new model. But I want you to always be careful, even if it's new, you still might find some casting lines like I just did, and that's going to require an extra, 10 minutes of careful filing with the needle files, just to smooth out those edges, and I promise that'll give you a noticeably nicer difference when it's all painted and cleaned up. I like to use the abrasive brushes too. Gives it a perfect little shine if it's done well, and that's the last step before degreaser to remove any oils or fingerprints or stuff that might have got on the cast. And you want a clean canvas at this stage to go into the primer. I use a hardware store can right off the shelf and give it a little spritz, and I'll let that set up. Oh, that's a beauty. The car, I mean. Although I did lose my concentration there for a moment and forgot to film me airbrushing on the new top coat, which is almost the same color as the original. Wonder why I spent all that time removing it and taking off the tampos, but it's slightly different, and I have mixed up my own cream color to do the side panels to match that picture of the surfing bug that I just showed you. That was my inspiration, so I just had to mask up that little bit on both sides, not too hard, and after about 10 minutes, no sooner, no later, I carefully removed the masking, and today I had some good fortune because it comes off really beautifully with no overspray and no bleeding, which means no touch-ups required on the surfing Beetle. Cool. I got razor sharp lines, corners, and edges on both sides today. That doesn't always happen. Looking good. I love it. Okay, on the theme of surfing, every Canadian snowbird who's gone down south for the winter knows about Ron John's Surf Shop. Quite famous in the Florida area, several locations, and I've visited there before. I'm not a surfer, but I bought some beach sandals and t-shirts, and that's the theme that I've chosen for my Beetle, plus a little hang 10 pair of feet on the engine cover. And look at this. From the original, one side of the wheels had gold hubs and the other didn't. So to amend that, I give the brown wheels a fresh black coat of spray. And here's a little trick I like to use when I'm doing some wheel detail. I lock the axles into my helping hand so they're not moving, but I can rotate the wheel with my finger and just hold the pen or the paintbrush, if that's what you're using, and you get a perfect circle, like so. It works very well. You can even do a fine line, like this gold rim around the outside. You ever tried that before? Look how well that turns out. It's beautiful. This was the third and final vacuum form windshield that I made a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to use the one that was on the right side. It's the dark Beetle glass. And also I removed the original pizza pan steering wheel, and I'm going to replace it with one of my own 3D resin printed wheels as part of the conversion to the surfing Beetle. I need a roof rack, and so I'm going to scratch build my own today out of the thinnest piece of styrene that I've got. And it easily bends into shape without heating it or any special tools. And I've cut to length a couple of cross pieces that I affix with some special styrene glue. Actually melts these right together, so you've got a few seconds to adjust them positionally. And a couple of surfboards, of course. I did some surfing of my own on the internet and found a couple of these patterns that I thought would look good to go with my Beetle, and so I made some water slide decals that I put on the top and bottom of each of those. And following the theme of this month, I'm going to make a little beach diorama out of this coffee coaster. It's got a couple of rubber feet on the other side of it. So I spread some regular white school glue and drop that into my sand that I got from the local sandbox outside. I just had to put it in the oven and dry it up, and I'll sprinkle on a little bit more that won't be adhered, but it will look good in the final display. I already put the glass back in with a little bit of hot glue on the roof to hold it in place, and that'll be helped by the interior. And the chassis, which is untouched, goes back and is held in place with the pre-fitted 256 size self-tapping screws. And I've got good motion on the wheels. Everything fits just the way it should, so that's super. Let's have a closer look. The fresh two-tone paint job that I did, the original wheels have been refurbished in black and the hubs and the rims redone. There's my hang 10 feet on the back. It's got a nice clear coat on it now. Only my channel logo went on the bottom. That's the only difference there. And the scratch-built roof rack has just enough friction to hold itself in place, but can also be easily removed, and one surfboard is affixed to the top of that. There's the original Love Bug with all the Valentine's jazz on it. And now it's a beach-worthy surfing Beetle with the Ron John Surf Shop livery on it. One board on the top, and it looks ready for Malibu. I love the way this one turned out. And on the beach diorama, there's an extra board stuck in a dune, ready for an excellent day at the beach with a couple of friends. All right, I make a custom blister pack for all my cars. This one will make its way to my local Goodwill shop where it'll be a gift for a little boy or girl. Thank you for joining me today and watching this build. Be sure to catch the rest of the participants in the Surfing Beetle build. Special thanks to Geauxbear's Diecast Workshop for filling in as our guest this month. I wish you all a great day. It's coffee time.